Chief asked him to come over to the bedside. No questions asked. He did. And then Chief began to touch him in places he shouldn't.
Wow. Chike, you are a fine boy. All I just need is for you to satisfy my needs, and you will never suffer again.
Everyone in Lagos knew Chike's face. On every billboard, from Victoria Island to Ikeja, his movies were trending #1 on Netflix. Samsung, MTN, Coca-Cola, they were all fighting to pay him millions for adverts. At 28, Chike was a golden boy of Nollywood. Other actors would see him and they would whisper, "Now wow, this boy don't arrive quick. Not the dream they use." Fans on Instagram would comment, "God, when will my own time come?" Bloggers called him the Prince of Nollywood. But nobody knew the real story. 3 years ago, Chike was sleeping on his friend's couch in Surulere. No money, he didn't have any connections, just dreams and a handsome face. Then he met Chief Fashola, a big producer with connections everywhere. "You have what it takes," the chief had said. "But talent alone is not enough. You need a sponsor, someone to push you." Chike was desperate. His rent was due. His mother in the village was sick. "What do I need to do, Chief?" Chief took him to his home and asked him to undress. Chike was confused, but he undressed. Chief asked him to come over to the bedside. No questions asked. He did. And then Chief began to touch him in places he shouldn't. At first, Chike pushed his hands away, telling him to stop. But Chief told him that the only way he was going to make it in the industry was if he had sex with him. Chief even went ahead to mention some very big names who made it after their unholy pact. Even went ahead to show him picture proof.
Wow. Chike, you are a fine boy. All I just need is for you to satisfy my needs, and you will never suffer again.
What happened that night broke something deep inside Chike. By the next week, he got his breakthrough role, a leading actor in a big budget movie. The pattern started immediately. Director Tunde called him for another movie. "I like your work, Chike, but you know how this industry works. There are arrangements to be made." Chike's stomach twisted. He knew what was coming. "What kind of arrangement, sir?" "Come to my hotel room tomorrow night. We will discuss your contract properly." The hotel room in Ikoyi, the same demand, the same shame afterward. Director Tunde was rougher than Chief Fashola, more demanding.
You want to be a star, Abi? Then you better learn to please the right people.
But another starring role followed. Then photographer Williams needed him for a magazine shoot cover. "Chike, you are perfect for this international magazine. But you know, we need to discuss terms privately first." Another night, another hotel room, another piece of his soul was sold. Williams was different. He liked to humiliate Chike, make him beg for rose, say what he wants. Williams would whisper, "Say you need it." Chike would close his eyes and think about his sick mother, about the bills, about his dreams. Casting manager Mr. Johnson for Netflix auditions. Same story, same shame. Each man had his own twisted preferences, his own way of breaking Chike down. "This is just business," they would all tell him afterwards. "This is how the industry works." Chike kept telling himself it was temporary. "Just until I become big enough, then I will stop." But the higher I climbed, the more they demanded. Each new level came with the same dirty price tag, and each encounter left him feeling more hollow inside. Now Chike had everything: cars, houses, money in different banks, but he couldn't sleep at night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw their faces. He tried dating women, but his relationship kept falling apart. Fumi was the one he loved the most. She was beautiful, smart, working as a banker. For 6 months, things seemed perfect. But the problems started showing. They would go on dates to expensive restaurants, and one of them would walk up to their table. Chike, my boy, Director Tunde would say, completely ignoring Fumi. We need to talk about that script I sent. Chike would freeze. Director, this is my girlfriend Fumi. Oh, nice to meet you. Tunde would barely glance at her. Then he would turn back to Chike. Can you step outside for a minute? Important discussion. Fumi would sit alone at the table for 30 minutes while Chike and Tunde discussed business outside. When Chike returned, his face would be different, distant. What was that about? Fumi would ask. Just work, nothing important. But it kept happening. Every date, every outing, one of them would appear and Chike would always disappear with them, leaving Fumi feeling like a third wheel in her own relationship. Was where the phone calls. Chike's phone would ring at all hours, 11 p.m. to midnight through 2 a.m. Hello, Chief Fashola. Yes, sir. Tomorrow? I have plans with... okay, I'll understand. Deep male voices that would make Chike's whole body tense up. Who was that now? Fumi would ask. Just work, a producer. At midnight. This industry doesn't sleep for me. She wanted to ask questions, but what would she say? They were male voices, business calls, nothing suspicious on the surface. But the worst part was the intimacy. When they tried to be close, Chike would freeze up. His whole body would go stiff. What's wrong? Femi would whisper. Don't you want me? Chike would force a smile. I'm just tired. Work stress. But the truth was, he felt dirty. How could he touch her with the same hands that... How could he kiss her with the same lips that... It felt like he would contaminate her. You are hiding something from me, Fumi finally said one evening. You act like you are carrying a heavy secret, like you are living two different lives. Chike wanted to tell her everything. But how could he? How do you tell the woman you love that your success is built on shame? I can't explain right now, was all he could say. Then I can't stay, Fumi replied, tears in her eyes. I love you, Chike, but I can't love someone who won't let me in. After she left, Chike sat in his big empty house and cried. At parties, Chike would drink and smile, but inside it felt empty. One night, at an award ceremony, an older actor named Biodo came to him. Biodo had been struggling with acting for 15 years, and he was still struggling. Chike, you are doing well, Biodo said, but his eyes were sad. You quote everything quick. But remember, fame gets expiring date, and the price will pay. It never leaves us. Chike knew Biodo was talking from experience. Everything started falling apart when Chief Fashola got greedy. Unknown to Chike, Chief Fashola had been recording their meetings with hidden cameras. I need you to bring me 3 boys, Chief Fashola told him one evening. Young hungry ones, like you wear now. If you don't, these videos will be on every blog by morning. Chike was trapped. It was now being used to recruit others. At the same time, a young actor named David started asking questions. Chike had tried to help David get roles, but David noticed something strange. Bro, why do all these roles require special meetings with these men? And why do you always look sad after you help someone? Rumors started flying on blogs. Inside source says top Nollywood star is slipping his way to the top. Anonymous actor exposes industry secrets. The whispers became louder. Brands started quietly cancelling contracts. Movie producers stopped calling. One Tuesday morning, Chike woke up to see the videos everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. His face with Chief Fashola, with Director Tunde and others. The captions were cruel. So this is how Chike became famous. Fake life, fake success. We thought he was talented. Nah, lie, yo. His mother called from the village crying. His siblings stopped picking his call. Fumi sent him a text. Now I understand why you could never love me properly. And the same fans who used to write God when were now writing to Fiaka. Abomination. Chike sat in his big house in Lekki all alone. All the cars, all the money, and all the fame, none of it mattered now. He remembered a boy from Enugu who came to Lagos with nothing but dreams. What had he become? That evening, he drove down to Chief Fashla's house. I am done, Chike said. I will not bring you any more boys. Do whatever you want with those videos. I am tired of this fake life I'm living. Chief Fashala laughed. You think you can just walk away? This industry will swallow you alive. Then let it swallow me, Chike replied. At least I will die as myself, not as your puppet. The scandal shook Nollywood to its foundation. But instead of sparkling conversation about the industry's problem, society turned all its rage on Chike alone. The comments on social media were vicious. Disgusting dog. You allowed your fellow man put his thing inside you. Shameless animal. You are a disgrace to mankind. This one a woman rapper. Sophia Poa. We thought you were a man. You were just a cheap prostitute. The hatred was everywhere. On the street, people would point at him and spit. Look at that one where they do man and man. Abomination. His mother called from the village, crying with shame. Chike, what have you done to our family's name? Your father is so ashamed. He cannot show his face in the market anymore. Mama, they forced me. I had no choice. No choice? His mother screamed. You choose to be with men like a woman. You choose to bring shame on us. Don't ever call this house again. The night when he's dead, his siblings blocked his number. His childhood friend posted on Facebook, we never knew this boy. He's not our friend. The industry completely abandoned him. Not just the men who had abused him, everyone. His fellow actors released statements. We distance ourselves from Chike's immoral behavior. Even the victims like Biodun turned against him. He should have stayed strong like the rest of us. Now he has exposed our secret. Brands sued him for moral damages to their reputation. His bank accounts were frozen. His cars were repossessed. His house in Lekki was sealed by the bank. Chike found himself back in Surulere, but even there he wasn't safe. Neighbors would throw stone at his window at night. Homosexual, get out of our area. Children would follow him to the street singing, Chike the gay man, Chike the prostitute. The only job he could find was cleaning toilets at a bus station. His supervisor, knowing who he was, would humiliate him daily. Make sure you clean well, oh, Mr. Movie Star. Since you know how to bend down for man, bending down to clean the toilet should be very easy for you. 6 months after the scandal, Chike had lost everything. His looks were gone. Stress and shame had aged him terribly. His hair was falling out. His once bright smile was replaced by empty hollow eyes. He lived in a small dark room that smelled of urine. No electricity, not even hope. One evening, as he sat alone in darkness, he called his mother one last time. Mama, please, I am your son. I made mistakes, yes, but I'm still your child. His mother's voice was cold as ice. I have no son like you. You died the day you chose to be with me. You are nothing to me. Now, nothing but a disgrace. That night, Chike looked at himself in the cracked mirror in his room. The face looking back was not the prince of Nollywood. It was not even the hopeful boy who had come to Lagos with dreams. It was the face of a man who had been broken by a system that chewed him up, swallowed him up, and spat him out when he was no longer useful. Outside his window, Lagos continued its hustle. New young actors were arriving daily, full of hopes and dreams. And somewhere in their expensive houses, Chief Fashala, Director Tunde, and the others were probably grooming the next Chike. The industry hasn't changed. The system remained the same. Only Chike had paid the price. And then one morning, Chike stood up from the bed, went straight outside to the main road, and ran into a big truck carrying cement. The truck crushed his body into million pieces. People who saw his tragic death still cursed him. Some even laughed at him.